For the latest developments on this, I'm joined by Newzroom Afrika's Athi Mtongana. She is out in Cape Town. A very good afternoon to you, Athi. You have been with the Democratic Alliance for the good part of today. What are some of the challenges that the DA is actually facing this time around with these elections?
Well, the Democratic Alliance in the Western Cape, its message to the voters, and more especially the people that have been voting for the party in the past couple of years, have been emphasizing on how they'll be improving service delivery. You may know that many communities, impoverished communities in Cape Town, have over a spilling drainage, blocked drainage system. The issue around housing is also huge in the city of Cape Town, something that the DA's mayoral candidate Jordan Hill says he'll be tackling head on when he gets into office, or if he gets into office after the 1st of November. Behind me is that big bus that Jordan Hill has been using to crisscross the city. It's been incredible to notice that throughout his campaign, he has been going around some of the communities here in Cape Town with young people. And as I talk to you right now, he's flanked by a number of young people. You may know that he's one of the youngest in the party, may not be the youngest, but part of the young politicians in the Democratic Alliance that is hoping to address issues that are affecting the youth in the city of Cape Town. Jordan, thank you so much for your time. I was just saying to Tammy that you're flanked by young people. What are you going to be doing for them? How are you going to change their lives?
Lovely to be with you as always, Athi. Thanks for coming today. My whole message, my whole manifesto, all of my pledges have been aimed at growing the economy. One of the things that got me into this was, I remember when that announcement came out, around 7, actually more than 7, nearly 8 out of 10 young people in South Africa cannot find work. And I just thought to myself, so long as we carry on doing the same things that we've always been doing for 27 years, it's just getting worse. We've got to do something totally different. We've got to have a strong city-led government that is going to flip the script on this and obsess about growing the economy, obsess about ending load shedding, about getting communities safer, about getting public transport working. And if we can do those things, we can grow the economy meaningfully faster and get young people into work. So basically, my entire message is squarely zeroed in, focused on how we can improve lives for young people who are unemployed and living in poverty.
One of the issues here in Cape Town is the issue around housing and the influx of people that are here for economic opportunities and not being afforded opportunities to live closer to the city for those working in the city of Cape Town. How are you going to address spatial planning that was designed to exclusively exclude particularly the black and colored people in Cape Town?
Yeah, that apartheid era spatial planning is a feature of many cities around South Africa, and we've got to do lots and lots of detailed active work to unstitch it over time. Economic growth is important, but also, as I've said from the beginning, and we've discussed this, I know, where there is well-located city-owned land, where you can do housing developments in big enough scale, then we must absolutely speed up that delivery and help people get onto the housing ladder, help them own assets in close to economic opportunities around the city. And in the ward that we're standing in now, there's actually a great 1,500 unit development coming from the city of Cape Town. So more and more, I want to see that happening at a faster rate across the city. Of course, it's also true that the state is running out of money, Athi. So the era of these mass state-delivered housing projects is slowly drawing to a close. So we've got to partner more with the private sector as well to deliver more affordable housing for Cape Townians and leverage the city's assets to do that. But I'm absolutely committed to doing that.
Talking about service delivery, one of the issues that one can't help but notice when driving into these previously disadvantaged communities is the stink because of the blocked drainage systems across various streets that does not get attended urgently, as opposed to if someone reports an issue in Camps Bay, for instance. How are you going to ensure that people who call the city, for instance, to complain about a blocked drain, their issues are attended to on an urgent matter?
Well, let me just reiterate the standard we set ourselves as the DA. Every single person is entitled to excellent service delivery. That is true across South Africa. In the vast majority of places in our country, they do not get that. In Cape Town, they already get much better service delivery than anywhere else. But if there are places where people do not feel and see what we call the DA difference, then that is wrong, it is not good enough, that is not the standard we set for ourselves, and it must be fixed. We will not lower our standards. In fact, part of why I am doing this is because I want us to raise our standards even further, to say that every person is entitled to that dignity, they're entitled to that respect, the sense that they as a resident care and matter, that they are cared for and that they matter. And if that is not happening, I personally want to know about it. I personally want to go and see it and figure out why it's not happening and fix it.
A huge task ahead for you. I do want to let you go, Jordan, but I want to ask you then this issue which has created an uproar on social media and certainly in the entire country, the issue around racism. I did ask John Steenhuisen, based on the interview that he had with Gareth Cliff. I'm just interested, as a leader within the political party, are you at least concerned about some of the sentiments that have been echoed in as far as race is concerned, and how seriously is the DA taking the issue of racism?
Well, my experience in this campaign, going across the city, I thought about this long and hard before standing, obviously, as a white male for this job. But my experience across the city, every single community, no matter where I am, is that people actually want a government that can get the job done. And they're not that concerned about what the mayor looks like or sounds like or where he or she comes from. They want someone who can deliver for their families, make their communities safer, make it better, more dignified. And that's what the DA offers, and that's what we're committed to doing, and that's what I'm committed to doing. And I think if we can focus on that, then we can transcend the divisions of race and show that actually it is possible on the basis of normal human solidarity with one another. That if you are suffering, if you are living in deprivation, if you're living in poverty, I can care for you, I can demonstrate love, I can demonstrate that you matter, and deliver the services that you need for dignity, regardless of who I am or who you are or where we come from.
Many of these residents are saying that they're in this position that they're in because of racial discrimination. I just want you to touch on the issue of racism, Jordan, and give us your view and take then the people that are around you into your confidence about your views about racism, and people who have been pouring out their experiences about the structural racism that they've experienced.
Well, that's not my experience in Cape Town communities, I will say, throughout this campaign, I will say again, is that people have not complained about the poverty that they are living in because of racial discrimination. They've complained about safety. They've complained about the lack of work opportunities. They've complained about how services are broken across the country and load shedding. And they've said, we need a government that is going to take care of these things, regardless of what that government looks like or sounds like. It's about the outcomes for our families. How do we make it better for our children? How can we give them a sense of hope and optimism for the future? So I think there are lots of people in South Africa who are desperately trying to divide South Africans one against another. But the DA is saying we can serve every community, we can look after every community, we can raise them up from deprivation and poverty and give them hope for the future. That is a non-racial project. It is a non-racial project. It doesn't matter where you come from. It's your living conditions we care about.
Thank you so much for your time. The DA's mayoral candidate, Jordan Hill-Lewis, promising to improve the service delivery in the city of Cape Town, promising jobs for young people. Many, many promises being made ahead of the 1st of November, when many of the people here and the rest of the country head to the polls to go vote.
Athi, thank you very much for that. She is out in Cape Town with the Democratic Alliance, echoing once again issues of service delivery.